Shalom. Welcome back to Flipping Pages, Stirring Sauces. I hope you had a Baruch Shabbat. For those of you who have liked, shared, subscribed, and commented, Tawada and gratitude. Tonight I'm a little upset. And I'm just going to get right on into it. And Your Holiness, my good-for-nothing Prime Minister, you allowed subhumans into the country and you gave them free will to do whatever they want, treat the melanated Jamaicans however they want, and get away with it. I haven't forgotten that slap that was heard around the world where that subhuman slapped that little girl and accused her of not paying for her item when the money was in her hand being handed to her and some of it fell. If that was my child, she couldn't carry on business there. She would have to pack up and go back to wherever the hell it is she came from. But you allow these people into the country and you give them privileges that the melanated Jamaican doesn't have. And so they think they have a right to treat us however they feel. They feel they have a right to serve the Jamaican public rice and flour that rats have used as their maternity ward. My gratitude to the young man who said, no, I am not packaging that and weighing it and selling it to the Jamaican public. And that other young man that complied with doing that, he should be locked up or deep sixed. How dare them? But I'm happy that the health department came in and swiftly closed them down. And I hope the next step is to send them packing. Because what they tried to do, what they tried to feed to the ordinary Jamaican, they would never do to their own people. And that is how they think of us. We need to stop putting these subhumans on pedestals. We need to treat them like the subhumans they are. What do you have inside of you to order somebody to package, weigh, and serve flour to a population for consumption that rats have given birth to, that rats have defecated in? What makes them think they can store food in a storage area that is infested with cockroaches and vermins and think it's okay to serve that food to the Jamaican public? How dare you? How dare them? It's time Jamaican people spoke out about this and stand up and stand out about it. But I'm very glad the health department packed them up. I hope they send them packing. This has to stop. But anyway, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if it is your first time, welcome. I'm not finished with you, and Your Holiness. So let me see. Yes, why do we get upset when people take what we put out there, expand on it, push it out to a greater audience, and feed the flock? Why do we get upset about that? I don't care if people take what I put out there and expand on it, as long as they are feeding the flock. It doesn't matter how the information or your message gets out there. You can deliver a part of the message and somebody else can take your message and add their message to it and deliver it to the people who need to hear the message. So if you don't want people to expand on what you've put out there, do not ask them to share your work. Because when they share your work, they're going to expand on what you've said. And back to you again, Andrew Holness. Pipe kabooms? Really? That is such a Babylon thing. Pipe kabooms is a Babylon thing. If you think you're going to use that to scare the people and not call an election, you have another thing coming to you. Now, Marcus Garvey spoke about a certain politician's head rolling down a certain street. And that prophecy has not yet been fulfilled. Might that be you, Andrew Holness? You see, the dolly house you have going, it needs to be mashed up. Your dolly house needs to mash up. And Mark Golding is not the man to mash it up. How would you let Holness be the Speaker of the House when you are the Prime Minister? That is a major conflict of interest. The Jamaican people need to chase all of you out of Parliament with fire sticks. Jamaican people, have you looked at the rulers of Jamaica? Have you looked at the history of the rulers of Jamaica? Where did they come from? Where did their parents and grandparents come from? Where were they born? No. Do they look like the majority of you? Did they act in your best interest when they told you that you were independent? Yet they turned around and installed Elizabeth as the head of the country? By joining the Commonwealth, which only benefits that corrupt institution and their people, how does that make us independent? How are we independent when a foreign body is installed as the head of our nation? You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Jamaica sees its first coup very shortly. Things need to change. And I'm saying it here. But people might think it's a joke. It's not a joke. Andrew needs to call an election so the people can vote him out of office. And like I said, Mark Golding is not the man for the job. William Ruto, I hope that you are sufficiently embarrassed. Practicing segregation and discrimination against your own people, giving your own people leftovers that your oppressors have picked over to eat, rolling out the red carpet so that your oppressor could come and do their little evil ritual and then go back. And Camilla, the concubine, She thought she was too good to get out of the car and meet her subjects, her royal subjects. She was too good to get out of the car and mingle with the melanated people. So she sat in her car with her face all scrunched up like an old sponge, because she felt she was too good to go out and mingle with the melanated people. Was the melanin too much for her? Like the old people in Jamaica used to say, it's a pity him never tumble down and pop him backside when he trip. I hear African nations crying out for Palestine and Israel. What about the genocide that is taking place on the continent? Who is crying out for the Democratic Republic of Congo? Who is speaking out against that genocide? Oh, it's okay because Babylon and his sidekicks are doing it, so it's okay. The leaders on the continent needs to step up and grow up here. Andrew Olness, back to you. You need to stop putting the lives of Jamaicans in danger. Your own kitchen is filthy, dirty, but you find your mechanical self in Israel telling that alleged criminal that Jamaica is with him. Did you think to talk to the Jamaican people and ask them how they feel about it before you went and put their lives in danger? The majority of Jamaican people do not want anything to do with that war. It is not our fight. They want you to call an election so that they can vote your backside out of office. And Mark Golding is not the answer. The PNP government, PNP, the People's National Party, has lied to you for over 60 years. They didn't have your best interests at heart. Look at what they have allowed Andrew and the rest of his criminals that run Jamaica do to the country. And before I go on, some of you are going to be offended by what I have to say next, but I must deliver the message the way it was given to me. All of you Christians, you're all calling out to that false god, asking for changes in Jamaica. How is that working out for you? How is that working out? Maybe you should be calling out to someone else and not that false god your oppressors gave to you. Some of you are hanging on to that false god so tight. The Creator says, if my people who are called by my name would just turn to me. Maybe you turn to him and maybe you'll get some answers and maybe there'll be some changes in Jamaica. Now, I have seen what is about to happen to Babylon on their soil, and it is not pretty. The kabooms are going to rain down indiscriminately. And those of you who think the war is going to take place somewhere far away, it is going to rain down on Babylon soil. And people in Jamaica, they are going to stay in Jamaica and see and hear what is going on in Babylon. the kabooms, they will be raining down furiously. Jamaica, at that time when those kabooms start raining down on Babylon, you need to go dark, completely dark. I was in the thick of it, and my job was to make sure that Jamaica keeps the lights off completely at that time. Not even a wood fire. And I need to leave where I am. While in that situation, it was made clear to me that if I stay where I am, I will be in direct path of those kabooms. I was amazed at how pretty the lights of death were. When the kabooms hit the night sky lit up in shades of yellow, orange, tanzanite, blue, red. The harbingers of sin did a great injustice to mislead people when they forced a false god on us, stole our identity, and changed a feminine entity into a male entity and call that entity God. And we wonder why the world is in the mess that it is in. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. A wall of protection around the revolutionaries. Until next time, Shalom.